What is up, guys? Welcome to another one of my videos. My name is Abdurrahim. I am an IMG physician currently practicing internal medicine residency in Chicago. Today I'll be discussing one of the most common questions that I get asked, and that is, what are the barriers to pursuing the USMLE? A lot of people I know a lot of my viewers are people who are starting to prepare for the USMLE or who are in the process of application. I just wanted to touch upon some of the things I learned going through the process. I can honestly say that pursuing the USMLE, going through the process, was the best decision of my life. One of the perks is, for example, working with the best doctors in the world. The US attracts the best doctors, and working here really elevates your skills. As they say, iron sharpens iron. There are also numerous other benefits. The other one being research. You get to do meaningful contribution to the field. That is way more accessible here in the US than it is back home. Also, I don't even need to mention about the money and the lifestyle here, which is much better. You also get to do extracurriculars. I remember when I was back in Ethiopia, I didn't even have access to a good gym, could not exercise regularly, etc. So I'm not here to discuss about the benefits. I'm here in this video to discuss about the barriers some of you mentioned when you're starting the USMLE process, and I'll try to help out and come up with the solutions to those barriers. So the first barrier is that you lack knowledge about the USMLE process. Maybe you know you want to pursue the USMLE path, but you don't know anyone who's done it. I remember at the time when I wanted to start preparing for the process, I didn't know where to start, and I thought the entire process was way too complicated for me. But I assure you that it's not. There are so many resources now, including YouTube. It tells you step by step until you complete the process. I also wrote a book about it. It's called the IMG Match Ready. Put it right here, the title. It tells you exactly from step one until you match, and the visa process as well. It tells you exactly what to do step by step, and that is I would say the best resource out there if you don't know where to start, because I wrote that book while I was in the process, and it's a very detailed book, and you can go out and check that one out. But what I would say is focus on the next step. So if you are starting, then worry about how do I register to the ECFMG. If you've registered to the ECFMG, then worry about how am I going to take the USMLE step one, what are the resources, where am I going to take it, etc. Don't worry about ECFMG certification when you're just starting, or what's the visa process like. That doesn't help. You don't have to worry about the visa process when you're starting. So worry about the next step and everything's gonna be okay. The second barrier a lot of people ask me is they cannot pay for the exam. Maybe they can't afford the fee, or they don't have anyone in the US, they don't have access to credit card. So what is the best way to go about it? I would say one thing, saving to pay for the exam yourself is not the best way to go about it, because as you know, with the salary that we get paid back home, it's very hard to save and take the exam. It's gonna take way too much time, and every year you're not applying is a disadvantage in your application. Therefore, I would say there are better ways to do it. So the first question I would ask myself if I were in your position again is, do you have a close friend or relative that lives in the US? If you have a close friend or a relative, the best way would be for them to pay at least a large portion of your exam. I know that a lot of you are hesitant to ask for favors from relatives or friends, but if it's a close friend or a relative and they understand your situation, that is the best way to go about it. $1,000 for the exam or the application is a huge sum of money. I remember when I was wanted to take step one, and I thought about I was stressed about like, how am I gonna pay for the exam? It's like $1,000. But if you have a friend or a relative that's living in the US, $1,000, yes, it's a lot of money, but it's not life-changing money for them. But this process is life-changing for you, and you can pay it 4 or 5 times back in the future. So if they could pay for your exam, then that's great. If you don't have anyone in the US, then do you have relatives abroad in countries other than the US? They do not need to be in the US. If they are in, for example, Europe, let's say you have a relative in Sweden, then they could do the same thing for you. They have access to credit card and they have access to more money. Then you can either ask them to pay for you or just take a loan from them and promise you'll pay it once you match. If you don't have if you have a relative but they're not willing to pay the money for you, you can if you have a family member or a relative in your home country that can pay the fee, you can ask your relative abroad to gain access to their credit card, but you can pay them in Ethiopian birr. If they have a family member in Ethiopia, you can transfer the money to their relatives and they can help you out paying the exam fee using their credit card. So that's also an option. So if you don't have any access to credit card, or if you don't have any access to relatives who can lend you money to pursue the process, then the next best thing you can do is to pursue opportunities abroad. It doesn't have to be residency or clinical work. You can do you can apply for research positions in other countries, or you can take some other exams like the DHL, which, if you don't know about the DHA or DHL, it's like an exam. It's like the USMLE but for Dubai. Those exams cost way less money compared to the USMLE, so you can pursue those, or like I said before, you can pursue research programs. This is what a lot of people are doing right now. They don't have access to money and they can't afford to wait until they save up for the money, so you pursue research opportunities abroad. Some of these research opportunities have pay decent amount of money, so you can save that money and apply for USMLE and take the exams in the interim. Because of these research positions are not time taxing, it's really ideal. And also, if you could publish a paper or two in the process, it's going to aid your application. So this is actually a good idea if you don't have the money. But if you have the money, go ahead and apply. Don't go for research positions if you can pay for the USMLE exam. For some reason you applied to research position and you couldn't get it, then I would say the only option that you have is to work as a general practitioner and save up the money. If you go into residency in your home country, I think that's a huge disadvantage because you're committing yourself to a 6-7 year commitment with low paying job, and residency I know is way less payment than say working as a general practitioner. So what I would do is, if I were you and I had a plan to pursue the USMLE, then I would work as a general practitioner, try to earn as much cash as I can and save it, and then spend it on the exams. So that's a detailed discussion about like the finances. But the third reason people, okay, you paid for the registration, let's say, you know about the process, you read my book and you're ready, to go, and you've seen a bunch of YouTube videos, and now you have the knowledge that is required to pursue the process. The third barrier is that you get demotivated easily. All of us have some laziness in us, but some more than others, I would say. If you find yourself being demotivated to study for the exam, or you start reading for the exam, but then at times just lose your focus and do some other stuff and get back to reading, it's gonna take you far more time if you do that, and you lose momentum, and momentum is very powerful. If you're struggling with being more consistent, then I would advise you to get like an accountability partner. Doing it with a friend is always better, because when you're having a bad day, they're just a person that understands what you're going through, and it's a long process. So having an accountability partner is very essential. I did it. I went through the entire process with one of my best friends, and that was super helpful. Another reason you're feeling demotivated could be that you are trying to do too many stuff. You're involved in work, and then you have other side hustles, and also you're trying to do this as another task, and that's not ideal. Singularity of purpose is essential, especially because the process is taxing and tiresome. If you are pursuing other stuff on the side, that might take you off your course and make you less focused. So what I would say is, if you're having too many things on your plate, try to eliminate as much unnecessary stuff in your day as possible, so that you can focus all your energy on this important exam. Finally, if you're doing only this, if you're focused and have an accountability partner but you're still losing focus, then what I would say is change your environment. Environment is very essential. If you're feeling like your environment is not ideal to study or to have deep work sessions, then changing your environment would be another option. What I want to say finally is, throughout this process, patience is key. It's not like something you can do overnight. It's not something you can do in a week. It takes months. It might take years. So patience is key throughout the process, and it's not how many times you fall, it's how many times you get back up. So you'll have bad days and you'll have good days, but even if you're having bad days, try to keep the streak going, try to read through, try to power through, and you'll do amazing. I hope you find this content helpful. Subscribe for future videos, and if you have any questions that you want me to answer, leave it in the comments below, and subscribe to my Telegram channel, Match Ready, where you'll find highly motivated, like-minded individuals, so you can that can help you stay on your course. And if you like this video, you might like my other videos, so go ahead and check them out, and I'll see you in a different video. Take care.